everybody, and welcome to GenFriends. I'm your host, Cheri Hudson Passey from Carolina Girl Genealogy, and this fabulous group of ladies, my panel tonight, we're going to talk about what? Relative race, woohoo! Day one, it's back. So before we get started, let me introduce these wonderful people that have come to, help me help us all unpack everything that happened on day one. We've got Melissa Barker, our archive lady. Hello, Melissa.
Hi, everybody. Glad to be here.
Glad you're here. We've got Jenny Hawran from Like Herding Cats Genealogy. Hello, Jenny.
Hello. Hi, everyone.
Glad you're here. We've got Shelley Murphy, our family tree girl. Hello, Shelley.
Hey there, from Virginia, saying hey, glad to be here. Trying to get the bands on.
Get your bands on if you got them. Wear your shirts.
I don't have the shirt on, but I got my band.
We've got Laura Hedgecock from Treasure Chest and Memories. Hi, Laura. Laura.
Hi.
What you doing, Laura? She was getting ready. And we've got Mary Kircher Roddy from MKR Genealogy.
I'm trying to tell my family to stop streaming because things are
yeah, you're kind of breaking up there, Laura.
Yeah. Sorry, Mary.
Good to be here.
Hi, Mary. Glad you're here. Laura's got to go yell at her family. I know I have to text while I'm sitting here sometimes going, get off there. So
it reminds me, turn down the phone.
Do that, turn down the phone,
yes.
Turn off notifications because y'all don't want to hear that. We started another season of Relative Race. I'm so excited about this. We're going to start off talking about season 16 by talking about the teams, a little introduction of the teams. And some of you have decided that you would take a certain team to kind of give the backstory to. So who'd like to go first? Doesn't matter. Go ahead, Shelley.
I'll get it over with. I actually selected the red team. And so I'm going to go off memory because I can't see what I had written because everything is frozen per se. But it's two cousins and they're adopted cousins.
Yes.
Two females. And I want to say Candace and is it Andreas? Or
Andrea.
Andrea.
Yeah. And so both of those ladies are looking for their biological families and making connections. So that's it with them. I won't say anything else.
Right. Well, we'll say more about Andrea as we get started because my heart broke for her. But anyway, so who wants to go next?
I'll go.
Okay.
Team Black. Okay, well, stop me if I start saying too much.
No.
Team Black is Sadie and Jake. They are adoptive siblings from Boise, Idaho. Sadie is 20 years old and her brother is 24. And she always knew she was adopted and she was adopted at 3 weeks. Should I go on?
Go ahead, because it's really important to know, I think, a little bit of her.
Yeah. So she was told that her mom was very young when she had her, and the dad wasn't in the picture. She knows her mom's name is Anya.
Anya, yeah.
And she she and her brother have a very cute dynamic going on. They tease each other like brother and sister do. But I guess the final thing to just kind of her backstory is that her adoption was closed, but then her bio mother contacted the agency and was asking about her. So there was some letter writing back and forth for a certain amount of time. And so she's looking to obviously meet family. And she really wanted to know that the letters that she wrote, ever reached, because she never heard back from her the once a year.
She said she wrote to her till she was 13 and never heard back. So this is going to be a very, very interesting and I think
emotional.
We're going to need lots of Kleenex already for this season starting on day one. So who'd like to go next? We got
I'll go. I'm going to tell you about Green Team. They are Hillary and Donita, and they are daughter-in-law and mother-in-law.
That's the coolest thing ever.
I don't know. Have we ever had a daughter-in-law and mother-in-law?
No, I don't
think so.
No, this is a first.
Hillary's from North Carolina. I didn't know that Donita said where she was from. I don't know if she was just going along with her and they're both from there. I don't know.
I don't know.
But Hillary did say she's from North Carolina. And so they are very vibrant and I think they're going to really do great. But like I said, this dynamic of daughter-in-law and mother-in-law, so it's going to be interesting.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
the first.
First, we have not had that before, so this is going to be very, very interesting. Miss Laura, are you there?
Penny
It's Penny.
Yes, but Miss Penny is joining us.
Come on, Penny.
Penny.
Come on.
I see her peeking in.
Okay, so I have
Here she
Luke
comes.
too, and that is Gerald and Shauna. He goes by Jerry, and their husband and wife team from Idaho.
Mhm.
And Jerry's story is that he kind of grew up with his mother, but she would like disappear for a while and he would have to fend for himself. And finally, when he was found like dumpster diving for food,
Right.
Mm.
he got put in foster care. But it sounds like once that happened, he and his brother, whose name was Ross, were separated.
Mhm.
So he ended up, he said he was in a really bad situation and he had really great adoptive parents. But he's particularly looking for Ross. He wants to meet Ross,
Yes.
but he's interested in meeting anybody at all.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
Shauna is there to cheer him on and support him.
Yes. And I love, she said, we're going to be the old and cranky ones on this journey.
Yes, we did.
So far not the case, but I
Yeah.
noticed in all four, there's one person looking and one person supporting.
Yes. Yes. Even red team, because
Well, red team, they're
No,
both looking.
well, no, because
Well,
remember at the beginning, which was
Oh,
sad,
that's true.
talking about they said they were not yeah.
But
So-
you know,
and
that's
this-
just not how
and this-
relative
Very
race
well
rolls.
blurry again. I'm having trouble with my camera, people. Anyway, but let me say the statement that while y'all are talking, I will turn it off and turn it back on. Yes, Candace is going to find people, but we heard at the beginning that her poor partner is not going to be. But she had pictures.
She
Yeah.
had some
well,
Must have-
and Callie wasn't going to find anybody, and didn't Callie find somebody? So
I was just getting ready
knows?
to say the same thing, Mary.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm gonna turn
Yeah.
off my camera. Let's talk about where they started from and what their first challenge was. That was
Please tell
fun.
me what. Connect me with these rockets, you guys.
Well,
I got the game, love the game, but
Yeah.
what? Just the kickoff?
yeah,
Was that
it was
it?
kickoff
Well,
because they're on a mission to find family, Dan said.
Okay, just the kickoff. Okay.
but isn't
I'm
Huntsville? I don't know how close the place was to Huntsville, but that's
Oh, and
where
now-
there's big space stuff. in
Yeah.
Space
Huntsville.
Center. Yeah.
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 They said they
So
were in where it was Central
Alabama.
Alabama. Central Alabama is where they said they were.
Yeah, center. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm starting to think I wonder if where they're going to end up, since they keep, just a theory where day 10 is going to be, and that could be Mary, they might just head right back to a space center somewhere,
Mhm.
whether it be in Florida,
Houston.
Houston, somewhere, because one of the teams did end up going to Florida. So if they stay in Florida, I don't know. We'll
do
see.
they get to drive rockets instead of tanks this year?
Yeah, I know, right?
I don't know. We'll
But they go to Florida, they definitely could do rocket
you know-
Cape Canaverals down there.
we just don't know. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. So if they're going to keep this theme, maybe that's what they're going to do. But who knows? Who knows? But I
Y'all
thought
think
I
about
thought it
that
was
exercise.
really kind of fun, because they had the 4 rockets there.
Yeah.
And then they had to go over, and they had to pick the numbers from this board. It was kind of like the
Memory.
match game,
Like a memory board, yeah.
like a memory
Like a
board. There you
memory,
go. Thank you. And they had to get 5, then 4, then 3, then 2, then 1 before they could push the button for their rocket to go up. And I think Team Black had the best strategy, but then everybody started copying. Who wants to tell us about
Yeah.
their strategy? It was great.
They did like a battleship assignment of the spaces. So like if they saw where
In their mind, they would, yeah.
the A2, which would
Mhm.
so that they had like a little system going on.
Yeah.
And they're doing good. Also, they're the youngest team.
They are.
What are they, 21 and 24 or something like that?
I
20
think
and
so.
24.
20
Yeah.
and
Something like that.
24.
So I think,
Yeah.
you're right. They are the youngest team this season. So
So they came right in with the strategies and
yeah. And the running and all that they could do. So
I have a comment.
sure.
Everybody that is selected for a team,
Mm-hmm.
now this is season 16.
Yes.
You think you should master that map at some point
This
before you go
is
on
true.
this team?
This is
A
true.
paper map?
Yeah.
You know,
They don't have to use.
I'm missing, and I can't remember what season. Remember, there was one woman that was on there, and she had it all mapped out. I mean, she had maps. I can't remember her name, but
that
it
was Deshay, and that
Deshay. Yes, that
Yeah.
was Deshay, and but she went effort after that, and I just wonder why some of these other teams.
I have a suspicion.
What is it? Maybe they tell them not to.
I have a suspicion that they can't bring their own, they can't do any mapping out in advance. They all got a backpack and their maps were in there.
Well,
So,
yeah.
I mean, because
But they don't know where they're going. I mean, I guess
They don't know where they're going.
right, but so I think they're trying to get around, like people need city maps and things like that, and it's not
exactly
how
And
big.
I guess we kind of jumped over what we're talking about because we had a change to.
Oh, that's true.
We had a change to the race.
Huge.
Huge change, and instead of paper maps this season, they were given a tablet, and their eyes kind of lit up. Go ahead, Mary.
Well, both. I mean, they still have the paper maps to get them to the general locality and then city maps for all the cities.
You're right. You're absolutely right because they.
Well, I don't know if it's just this first episode or if they're going to do it in every episode, but they had to use their paper maps to get to their challenge.
Yeah.
And then they get to use the tablet to get to their relative. I
Yeah,
wonder
they
to
don't
see
get
if they do
unlocked.
this in every episode.
Yeah,
Or
they
did
don't get unlocked until they're in the city. He said that at the beginning.
Yes.
Oh,
So-
okay. Thank you, Mary.
I think it's after the challenge, the map unlock the tablet.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, very observant.
And and just for the audience purpose, if they didn't see it, there is no internet or connection to Wi-Fi for those tablets. Those maps are just loaded up.
Exactly.
Basically.
And I was saying, and as I watched the show, and before we came on, I said to everybody, I heard the yell from around the world or around the United States of all the teams going, "What? We only have paper maps. Why?" But they do that every time. Yeah, Jenny.
Can we talk about the long drives? What's going on with the long drives again? I was shocked.
I know.
I was shocked.
They're starting in Alabama and going to Florida
and North Carolina.
North Carolina.
That was so mad.
Louisiana.
Yeah.
9 hours and 2 minutes. I'd be done.
That was the longest.
We have not seen drive times like that in a couple of 2, 3, maybe 4 seasons. They've all been like really short.
I was shocked.
Alabama was the pinpoint for everybody to go out.
Yeah, but a lot of times they flew them if it was too far. So
that's got to be exhausting to drive 9 hours and then I don't know. I guess, but you got to do what you got to do. But
after 9 hours, at least you're not having to do a challenge after 9 hours. It'll be interesting, but you still have to find your
overnight. Something in there.
I wonder how early they started. Like, was it like sun up?
I don't know, but
I'll tell you what, they look cold. They look very cold.
Yeah, I've never seen official relative race coats like that. They had gloves on. I'm like, I want a coat.
Coats in Alabama. That's kind of funny.
I know.
So it was in the dead of winter because in the South we don't get that cold.
No.
I mean, the year before last was extremely cold.
Yeah.
This year we had some cold days, but it must have really been one of those cold days.
I think they filmed early April.
Yeah, we had an epic snowstorm in January here. I just made it out of here to go to Salt Lake City. But so it was weird. The weather was kind of weird during the spring. So, but I looked at them, I thought, not only do they look cold, they look a little wet. So I'm wondering if they had some rain or something.
Yeah, it was muddy.
The cars had mud on the tires.
Yeah,
I saw that.
Exactly. So
do y'all hear yourself? We are such good researchers. We saw the mud on the tires. We saw the rain. Go genealogist.
That's too funny.
They were cold.
We're taking it all in. Right. Yeah. Oh goodness. So they finally, I mean, everybody struggled except for Team Black. I mean, there were some struggles getting that done, but they, and we want to know. And so, Mary, ask your question about the rockets in case anybody watching, if any of the team members watching can answer us.
Yeah, so my husband was watching along with me, and like, where did the rockets go down? I mean, he wanted to see a rocket come down. What happened to them?
I was wondering the same thing.
Where did they go?
In the water.
My husband was wondering the same thing, Mary. He's like, what if it comes down and hits the cars?
Right. Or somebody on the head or something like that, or somebody for the production team. I was like, where are they going? So that would be interesting.
They said they had to be in this place in center because there wasn't anything around there because they needed to be in a place where they could shoot rockets up 5,000 feet. But still, what happens to them?
I know.
They got to come down somewhere.
So,
what if they were on a military base and they just didn't say it?
I don't know. They would have to get
water was right there too.
Very special permission to get on a military base if they did that.
Yeah. But they're also by water. At least I think that is, unless I'm missing from something else. But it seems like when those rockets went up, I thought I saw water.
I don't know.
It's Alabama. I mean, it's not.
But they're on the Gulf.
It might have been it's northern Alabama.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So I guess
so I'm going to look that up.
That's a question we won't answered.
Yeah.
Weiss Lake is there, and it is the crappie capital of the world.
The what?
The what?
Crappie, the fish.
Crappie is a kind of fish.
It's fish.
It's the crappie.
Here in Tennessee, we call it crappie, not crappie. We call it crappie.
Thank you, Melissa.
It is.
So maybe Shelley was right, and they were near that. Like, thank you, Laura.
They were. I thought I remember water.
Well, and maybe
when the rockets went up for some reason.
Oh. So,
and if anything had gone wrong, there's the Floyd Cherokee Medical Center.
Well, Team Red, and if we're going to talk about where they went, so
sure, go ahead, tell us where they
Alabama,
went.
And Red goes to Louisiana to Baton Rouge or Baton, and stuff, and so
that was a long drive for them.
Yeah, it was quite a long drive for them, and at first I didn't understand their relationship.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean? I thought I missed something, and so I backed it up. What did they say? Because they didn't start off with an intro on them. They just, like in other seasons.
This is true. They didn't tell as much. They didn't tell as much.
No, it came later per se.
Kind of through the journey. They kind of let us know through the journey. And that's where we found out that only Candace was going to be meeting relatives.
Correct.
There's always hope, as Callie would tell us. There's always hope, and people change their minds, or there's a last minute surprise, and so maybe that'll happen. But so anyway,
but according to the write-up, they were both.
Don't tell us.
No.
Okay.
They can look. It's on.
Oh, you mean about their story? Yeah.
Yeah, they're both.
Guys, we're gonna give you a big hint because I thought this is what Shelley was doing. If you don't want to know what's gonna happen,
don't listen right now.
Commercials on BYU TV. As soon as the show goes off, turn off the TV, because if you're watching it on BYU TV, because they will show commercials that, unless you really want to see
highlights for next week,
it gives a lot away. So
can we send a message to relative race?
No, we've tried. We've had people on.
I know, but we can still
even the team members have said we don't like it either, and we've told them.
Yeah.
So
okay.
They think of it as
marketing teasers.
Well, the teasers, we're looking at it as spoilers we don't want to see. So anyway, just a little hint. So Team Red is going to Baton Rouge.
Yeah.
Team Blue is going to
Youngsville, North Carolina.
Yes, they're a North Carolina person. Yeah. Guys, I live in South Carolina. One of these days you have to tell me if you're coming down this way. And then Team Green is that
St.
the one going to
Augustine,
Charlotte?
Florida.
They went to
Florida.
the city of the United States.
And then somebody was going to Charlotte. Was that Team Black that went to Charlotte?
Yes.
Yeah.
They went to Charlotte, North Carolina.
Yeah. So I've got two that possibly could have come through South Carolina at some point going somewhere. So I'm going, So always get a little frustrated, but anyway, so I'm really, really liking these teams. Before we start talking about, who they met and things like that, I'm really liking the dynamics of the teams.
Yeah.
I'm really liking how, so far I know it's only day one and we got a long way to go, but I'm really liking how they interact with each other and things like that. And so, I'm really, really enjoying that. Did anybody and it's hard, it's only day one. And sometimes we pick out favorite teams and I like them all. Has anybody gone, oh, I really think I'm going to like this team? They didn't pick these teams just because they're their favorite, the ones that gave us their little backstory. We just kind of divvied them up so that we could start out that way. So,
well, I mean, Jerry's going to kill me because he's just it's such a tender thing for him, and I'm right there with him. I mean, I can't even look at the guy and I'm crying. So he's so into it, this means so much, and he just I just feel like of course it means so much to all of them, but it's just so he just can express it and just how much it means to him.
Let's go ahead and talk. Laura, go ahead.
No, I wanted to say that because I try not to cry. I don't enjoy doing things that make me cry. And I held up with Jerry, but Jay, because he was just so sweet and things that he said and his advocacy for his sister but Danita is going to be hilarious.
Yes.
Nice. Yeah, she's going to be good.
Yes.
I think so. Yes.
I think you're absolutely right.
Yeah. I think they're all going to bring something a little different.
Yeah.
I think all of them got dynamics, but
people are going to
be different. I think this season will be a little different.
And we always say they can't beat last season. We say
that. They do every year.
I'm already in. I'm already
Yeah. They do it every year.
Yeah. Yes. All four teams. I cannot wait. Let's talk about the teams. Just Jenny, since you brought up the tears, why don't you go ahead and start talking about?
Yeah, so Jerry, I mean, as I said, I mean, this means so much to him, and I feel like his backstory, we got a little bit more backstory from him than some of the others, so I think we feel that for him as well. And he got choked up just saying where he was going. He was going to Youngsville, North Carolina.
He says, I'm meeting family. I've got to be meeting family.
And it was like, all of a sudden it was real for him. That's like, wow, this is really going to happen. So it was very exciting when he met his father's brother, his uncle Terry.
Oh my God.
And it was just beautiful to see. I mean, and he said one of the things Jerry said was, I didn't know who I belonged to. And he's trying to tell that to his uncle, and it was beautiful to see. He also found out that his birth name, his birth name was Barry Martin Headland. And so he asked his uncle Terry, he goes, what's your last name? And they said Headland. And he said, oh, okay. He goes, well, my mother named me that because she supposedly liked this guy named Headland. And so that was validation for him. He was really happy, to have that. And then he also asked his uncle, was my dad in the military? And he said, yeah, he was a Marine. And that, and you could see that meant a lot to him. And he figured out, as he's talking to his uncle Terry, he said, well, that means, he goes, as they were talking, he said, is my dad still alive? And
that's Terry when my tears started.
Oh, yeah.
Said, yeah.
That did it.
Yeah.
And so
he figured his biological parents probably wouldn't be still around because of his age. That would make his parents in their 80s, right?
That's what he was saying. He said he didn't think that he would be alive, but he is. And then he saw a photo of his dad when he was a little boy, and they look so much alike as children. So it was just it was just a great,
Mhm.
great, after that long 9-hour drive, I'm glad he got,
Exactly.
got,
Exactly.
know,
just
They
so
went to North Carolina also, though, but not Charlotte, right?
no,
they
they
were in
went to,
Youngville.
yeah,
Which I
Youngville.
think is further east.
I think so too. I looked it up. I think I
Okay,
believe
yeah.
so. Yeah. But
So I didn't think,
caveat here, so we are talking about them driving, to their relatives, and they have this smart new technology, and like we said, it didn't seem to work for them all. So, they went back to maps or running into places and asking directions. I mean, go ahead, Laura.
I just wanted to add that all the first, I know relative race takes a lot of care with the first person to introduce them,
Yes.
but I thought Uncle Terry won, like so far as being the first person you'd want to meet that was
Oh, yes.
he and his
Absolutely.
wife were just so gracious
Yes.
and so obviously happy
Oh,
to
yeah.
meet him and
Oh,
moved and saying their lives were different because they'd laid eyes on him.
right.
Yes.
Yeah, Terry said, I've told them I loved him a couple of times, and I do.
Yeah.
It was really
Yeah,
sweet.
It was
really
really
sweet.
sweet. It really was a sweet reunion. So can't wait to see what happens to him on day 2. All righty, let's talk about, I don't know, let's talk about Team Red and where they went. They went to Baton Rouge.
They went to Baton Rouge, but and they met a niece, Candace
Yes.
met a niece on her mother's side.
And so it was her
And
sister's daughter.
Yeah, the niece's mother's side. That part was kind of confusing.
It was
Yeah, they
when she
should have
said
just
that.
said
Yeah.
your sister's daughter.
Yeah,
The way they said it. Yeah. So now she knows she's got a sister, but she found out she's got other sisters or
she's
other
got
siblings.
other sisters,
Yeah.
which has really been this is really interesting
Yeah.
because if we're going to focus more on Candace, and they're both adopted, but one of the questions that I do have, were they adopted into the same family, or are they in two different families and are cousins per
They're
se?
cousins.
Yeah, they're
I
cousins.
know they're cousins, but I guess I'm asking it wrong. Are they in this, did they grow up together? I'll say that way. They're cousins. Were they adopted by different parts of the same family?
I was wondering, one must be a cousin on her father's side, and they're the ones on
Maybe
the
one on the
side,
mother.
because if not, then they both would be finding the same relatives.
Because they just say
Maybe.
adopted cousin.
Good point.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I didn't get that clear,
Yeah.
and again, like Mary said, it really wasn't clear about the niece. It could have been said simpler, but they got through it, and it was a great meeting and stuff.
Right.
I really don't have anything else to say because I'm still trying to make that connection.
Yeah. Mary, what do
They're
you
adopted,
think?
and they said they're cousins, but is this same
Right.
family cousins, or is that mother,
I
father?
think they're adoptive family cousins. That's what the impression I got, that
Okay,
this,
now I see what
this
you're saying.
couple
So there's no way,
adopted a
even if
child,
they were
and
okay,
that
so
couple
even if they
adopted a
were
child.
on
See,
the
that's the way I
side,
think of it.
okay.
When
Yeah.
the two couples must be related to make cousins happen. That's where I'm trying to make the cousin connection being adopted.
Yeah.
Does that make sense now?
Somebody
How are
in
you
their
cousins?
parents' generation
Right.
is
Yes.
related to
Yes.
somebody
Okay.
else in the other.
Okay.
That's
Right.
So
my
I'm
guess.
good if
Yeah.
that's it, because I
Yeah.
didn't see it, as far as from the relative race page, not Facebook, but looking at
Yeah.
their page. And I thought, well, wait a minute, how does that happen? Sitting there
Right.
thinking.
So they're not siblings, and I think that's what we keep thinking. I keep thinking they're siblings, but they're not. They're cousins.
No,
And
they're not. Yeah, well,
they're cousins. Oh, wouldn't that be something if
I
it's
know.
Yeah,
I didn't
that's
want to
good.
say it, but you
I think they would have already told him that already.
yeah, no, I
Race.
wasn't going to go there, but wouldn't that be amazing?
Anyway,
So that was it for Red, and it's going to be a journey because the emotional side of the other one, if nothing is happening there, but she's there in support of her cousin.
right, exactly. And so,
but
because they're both adopted, it doesn't matter what side of the family they were adopted on. Because they're not going to have the same relatives anyway. So, yeah they're not going to have the same.
Hopefully, yeah. So, okay.
They find some other connection that that nobody knows about. So anyway, theirs is going to be a really great story too. And just the same thing. We look alike, the same kind of things. It's just beautiful. All right, Team Green. Who'd like to?
Yes, Team Green.
Let's move forward.
One thing I didn't mention when I introduced them is that Hillary did not know she was adopted till she was 20 or 21 years old.
Yeah.
Amazing to me.
So that's kind of late. Of course, some people don't know till much later. But she met her nephew, Dontre.
Oh, he was so cute.
Yes. But I'm looking at Hillary, but you're so young. How can you have that?
Yes.
So anyway, so it's her nephew. And very, very nice man. I think that he is really going to be a great family member for her.
Yes.
And one thing that I thought was amazing, and that it's I guess signs to come, is that he gave her something that she could keep up with her siblings, because she asked if she had other siblings. And so it was kind of like a family tree, and it had her, and then it had a space for all of her siblings, and it was 16 of adding her, 17 siblings on her mom and dad's side, both of them.
But you could tell on the tree there were different marriages, and
right.
It was broken up, but
fascinating. So she has a big family to meet.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And then we found out too that he had always known about her, as a matter of fact, the entire family, and that's why she's so young, Melissa.
Yeah.
Right? Is because
I wonder if she's the youngest.
She's got so many older. She's got so many older siblings. It looks like. Yeah. So that would be why she would have a nephew.
So she has a lot of family to meet, and so I'm sure she'll be meeting a lot of them as we go along.
Right. This will be fun.
This is going to be fun, because every door she goes to, we're going to think, oh, it's another sibling. Oh, it's another sibling. But we want her to meet her biological parents too. But but all those siblings, that's going to be really fun. And you can see the family resemblance between the two of them immediately. Immediately, you could see it. So
I can really see it on Black Team.
Yes. Speaking of Team Black.
Yes. So when they parked the car, there was a young guy that came out, and so they introduced themselves, and he said his name was Nas.
Yeah.
And he is Sadie's brother.
Yeah.
So then they all three promptly started crying.
I know. I loved Jake's reaction. Reminded me a lot of, say, season 2. When Joe found her dad, and how Maddie was like, oh, it reminded me a lot of that kind of reaction. Yeah.
And then when her new brother was
additional brother,
Sadie's like comforting him and saying it's all right. And it was just so incredibly sweet. And so, most of it was incredibly sweet, but he did tell her that she has more siblings. There was 6.
Yeah.
And he grew up with his grandparents, or the other 6.
All of them did, didn't
all of them did, except for her. All of them. And that the mother was young and was in and out of jail.
Yeah.
And so you could see that something was going through her head. And it was Jay that asked, do we know why Sadie's the only one that was put up for adoption?
Right. I was wondering if that question was going to be asked, and
I think it will get that answer, because that's like David from last season.
Yeah, but it was pretty cool that she didn't have to ask it.
Yes, that's what I mean. Yeah.
Because they're forging this relationship, and
right. Yep.
And
like twins.
But they look so
much alike.
And also,
but she has better eyebrows, he said.
That's right. That was so cute. That was so cute.
That was cute. Yeah.
So so it was very, very sweet. And again, a great introduction, a great family member to meet, somebody your age that can,
and somebody that knew about you, because they all would go back to the letters. They all knew about her.
Right.
Yes, because
the mother at some point she pulled them into a room and started reading the letters.
Right.
And she was crying and very upset. And so I think that's another thing that, Sadie was thinking, because she stopped at 13. She decided, I'm not getting anything back, so I'm not sending anything.
I'm not doing
a mature
anything.
decision. But then I think when she saw, but they liked him, she was like, I shouldn't have stopped. She should have, because that was the right thing for her to do at 13. So it's what
I have a question.
Sure.
Okay.
If there was letter exchange, they knew where she was at.
Well, no, it probably went through the adoption agency.
Oh, okay.
Probably went through the adoption agency. Yeah.
Okay. So it went through
because it was a
intermediary.
It was a private adoption.
Okay. Got it.
But exchange is really the wrong word, because it looks like they just went one way.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm glad she's finding her answers, and I'm glad this season too that all of them have said that, their adoptive families were great, because sometimes
they all had good
things to say about their adoptive families. And you know how much I love that. And I hate it when they say, my adoptive family wasn't good to me or whatever. That just breaks my heart. And so I'm so grateful that they all seem to have a good foundation of family and love. And this is all coming from just that need to know where you came from, that need to fill that hole that they've all talked about in every season. They've all said that, they needed just to fill that hole and know who they were. So
the who and the why.
The who and the why.
There's always a why.
And also, I think in Sadie's, she said also to find someone who looked like her.
Yes.
And they always,
like the rest of her family.
Right. And they always want that too, and so that's really, really, really important. It's really important for people to be able to look at somebody. And how many times have they said, you've got my face, you've got my nose, you've got my eyes, you've got my hair, all those things. And what a joy that is for somebody who's, always been in the family picture and didn't look like everybody else, to see someone who looks like them. And so that's always joyful. That's always joyful. So we're off to a great start, but of course we always have to get to the results.
Man.
Oh man, oh man, oh man. But I noticed that even though everybody, had their time and they gave out a strike, they didn't say anything about anything else as far as anything. What is it?
A regular strike?
Well, no, they did say that the two teams with the most strikes will go head to head.
They did?
The two with
I totally
said that at the
very
beginning.
They said at the beginning. At the beginning.
Somehow.
Okay, Dan said that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I missed that.
So I'm gonna have to replay that. I totally missed that.
Okay, so the two
at the beginning.
the most strikes. So it'd be like last year then.
Yeah.
Last season, I should say. It'll be like
the other two teams get a bye. Yeah, basically.
Okay, that's good. Okay.
What was was there a 10-day benefit this first episode or no?
They didn't. Did I miss that? Didn't mention.
Well, they get when you say a 10-day or just a 1 day. I mean, just a benefit.
Or a benefit.
The benefit is
they did.
The winning team gets to make everybody stop for 3 minutes.
Yes.
3 minutes. Okay.
I thought you were asking if they said that there's a benefit from today if you get to day 10.
Oh, it was, but it was the 3 minutes. But it looked like it was for everybody else.
It is.
They didn't pick one team.
Oh, it's just day 2, and everybody else except for the winning team has to stop for 3 minutes.
Because remember, last season they had to pick a team who was going to have the 3-minute penalty. Remember they picked.
This time everybody is going to do it that way. They don't have to pick it.
So hopefully that doesn't happen this season. But it is a competition. Right. It is,
It's a competition. You're absolutely right.
It is.
Okay, so before they started saying, who came in for second, third.
Yeah.
19 minutes?
Yeah.
I think that's one of the longest, but they had to drive.
Because it's a 9-hour drive. A lot of things can get messed up on a 9-hour drive.
19 minutes. I mean, last the last couple of seasons, they've been like 2 and 3 minutes.
Yeah.
And maybe we will get to that.
Everybody was over.
That until they, once now that they're in the probably locations where they're going to be for most of the time, they probably won't have these long drives. But I was like, 19 minutes over. Wow. And that's the winning team for today. Wow, that was amazing.
See, I thought that was nothing for that long of a ride.
Well, it just surprised me because we haven't had that long of going over for
Right. And think about Dan saying, only thing that separates first place from second place is 2 minutes.
Or even less, right?
Or less or something like that.
Exactly. So, but yeah, so drum roll, who came in first?
Green.
So that means everybody else has got a 3 minutes, and they'll probably just get that text from Dan saying, okay, you need to pull over for 3 minutes. And we'll have to see if these party people do something during those 3 minutes like we've seen.
Because we've seen singing and getting out and running around.
Or dancing or whatever.
Yeah.
So they were put too far behind by getting the last start out of Center, Alabama.
Yeah. It wasn't too bad. It wasn't too bad. And then we had Team Black.
Right.
In 2, second. 3 was
Red.
And then unfortunately, Team Blue came in last. But you know what? As Dan always says, tomorrow's another day.
Tomorrow's another day. This sounds like Charlotte from Scarlet.
We'll have to see, where they're going and what happens, and anything can happen to any of the teams. We've seen that weather can stop them, tornadoes can stop them, all sorts of things can stop them and change.
Wasn't there an accident with one of the teams that just?
I mean, there's all sorts of things that have happened to stop
bridge
them. Bridge openings, absolutely. So you just never know what the next day is going to bring for them. And sometimes you think, oh, especially when that first team gets that strike on the first day, you think, oh no, but many seasons that first team that gets a strike never gets another one. So it just depends. Everything just depends.
Everything's up for grabs, at least for the first 5 episodes. I mean, you know what I mean, as far
sometimes
as
even more than that. Yeah. So it's everything just depends, and they're off to a good start. We love all 4 teams, and we're so excited to follow this journey, and we're so grateful that they're allowing crazy people like us to watch their journey and comment on their journey, and we're just and show that to anybody who wants to watch it, with cameras in your face and emotional moments and sometimes challenges that get you all caught up in whatever you're doing and eating yucky things or tripping and falling or whatever it may be. That we can
I'll give you all a tip that if you don't want to watch the upcoming features or the commercials or whatever it is that gives you, watch it the next day on the BYU TV website, because there are no commercials, no nothing.
No nothing.
Well, and you could watch it that night.
Yeah, I don't know when it comes out, but I'll watch it the next day.
You can watch it that night. I just turn off the minute they turn off, I turn off. So because I don't want any of that. And whatever you do, don't go on to the TV guide part of BYU and look up the different weeks, because a lot of times they will tell you on that.
Yeah,
so for those of you that can't stand it and just want to know what happens, I guess that's a good thing, for you to do. But like those people who read the end of a book and then they start from the beginning because they want to know how it ends. So, if you want to know, they won't tell you everything, but you can get some hints. Yes, Laura.
I do that, especially with mysteries. You don't want to read 300 pages and then know that it's going to have a terrible ending. You want to know that it's going to be worth your effort.
That's funny.
I'll do it with every book, but if it's a little
coming from our author, yes, that's funny. That's funny. But I mean, a lot of people want to know way ahead of time. They want to follow it, and so
I never even thought to go look at it.
let me tell you all a secret. So
Thank you, Laura.
When they used to kick people off, wow, they had to go home, and we were able to have the teams on at that point, and still only because now we can only have them on after day 10. But
Right.
after they had to go home, after that episode showed, they used to be able to talk to us and come on. That's how I could figure out who to invite ahead of time because I knew that they were going to. And the only reason I did that was because they stopped talking about them in the episode, the description of the episode. They stopped talking about that team. And so I knew that they were going to be, it's just a researcher in all of us, right?
That's right.
That's how I figured it out, but they don't do it anymore. But we will continue the journey. We will have former team people come on and help us to digest all of this from the various seasons. So that will be fun. And hopefully, and if you're watching us, members of the teams, we will invite you, so put it on your calendar, to come and talk to us that Monday evening, unless it's a holiday, I haven't looked, I don't think it is. The Monday evening after day 10 airs, we will have you come and we'll have a team reunion and we will talk to you. It's really the highlight, isn't it, of watching this season, is having everybody come on and being able to talk to you. And then you get to tell us the things and tell our viewers the things that you couldn't say before. So with that, thanks everybody. We're off to a good start. We will get this posted. We'll have some links. And if you've got any questions, put them in the chat, because I've seen the YouTube chat or our blog chat, because I have seen some of the members of the teams looking at those. So,
or if you have answers about where the rockets went, let us know.
Yes, if you have answers to where the rockets went, or any time that we are talking and we ask a question.
Yeah.
Anytime you have a question, just ask it, and then hopefully we can figure out the answer for you. Some things we can't until the end, but anyway, so remember, if you're watching this, if you haven't done it before, please hit the like button and subscribe. So thank you, Laura. Laura reminded me to do that because I always forget, so that you'll never miss another episode of Gen Friends, and especially if you're watching the relative race episodes, you won't miss when those come out. So thank you, everybody. Thanks, panel. We'll see you next time, and we'll talk about day 2 of this wonderful season. So we'll see you next time. Bye, everybody. Happy watching.
Bye.